There's a new front in the U.S. trade war with Mexico, and that's water. Mexico owes the U.S. a lot, and Trump is feeling thirsty. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. Mexico has angered Donald Trump, so he's threatening tariffs once again. He will get them to pay for that wall. Trump says Mexico has failed to halt both illegal migration and fentanyl to the U.S. southern border. He's also not a fan of Mexico's record-high trade surplus with the U.S. As you can see here, it's the second largest, right after
China.
And actually, China plays a big role in that. China has essentially set up shop in Mexico to evade U.S. tariffs. But now, Mexico might face even more tariffs, all thanks to a water dispute. This all stems from a 1944 water treaty between the U.S. and Mexico. According to the treaty, Mexico is supposed to send 1.75 million acre-feet of water to the U.S. every 5 years from the Rio Grande. The U.S. in turn sends 1.5 million acre-feet of water annually to Mexico from the Colorado River. The U.S. has largely fulfilled its end of the deal, but Mexico hasn't. This is largely thanks to droughts, poor infrastructure, and growing local demand. That means Mexico owes the U.S. a pretty big water debt. Over the last 5 years, they've sent only around 30% of the water they were supposed to. In fact, over the past 30 years, Mexico has only complied with the water treaty just once. And that's bad news for Texas. This is the Rio Grande Valley, the epicenter of Texas's fresh produce industry. It's been facing a severe drought that is decimating crops. Now remember, the U.S. has been annually sending its share of water, but Mexico has not been sending its share. The lack of water led to an economic loss of nearly $1 billion in 2023 alone. So in response, last month the State Department said for the first time the U.S. won't be sending its water to Mexico. Trump posted on Truth Social, "Mexico owes Texas 1.3 million acre-feet of water. This is very unfair, and it's hurting South Texas farmers very badly. That ends now." And he threatened more tariffs and even sanctions until Mexico honors the treaty. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum responded by noting that Texas has been in a 3-year drought, and to the extent water is available, Mexico has been complying. Though a drought in the U.S. didn't stop us from sending water, but facing the threat of tariffs, Mexico promised it would send water to Texas farmers to make up for its water shortfall. But where did this water suddenly come from? I thought they had a drought. Well, Sheinbaum can't exactly afford to draw Trump's anger, especially since Mexico relies so much on the U.S. for things like natural gas. So in order to comply with the water treaty, a Mexican official told Reuters that Mexico agreed to send 122,000 acre-feet of water and is working on an option to deliver another 81,000 acre-feet. But that would still mean Mexico had sent less than 40% of the water it owes under the treaty. But sending even that amount could cause major problems for Mexico. Senator Mario Vasquez of the Mexican state of Chihuahua said, "For Chihuahua to deliver water right now is death." So it's not too hard to see that things could get really ugly really quickly, as it has in the past. Back in 2020, Mexican farmer protests broke out over Mexico sending water to the U.S. during a drought, resulting in injuries and even a fatal shooting. The farmers were so mad about the water treaty that they even seized a Mexican dam and destroyed its controls. These days, thanks to water scarcity, there's an entire black market south of the border for this clear liquid gold. And guess who's profiting most from water scarcity? The cartels, which the U.S. has designated as terrorists. Using water trucks, pipelines, and an army of lookouts, the cartel is siphoning water from lakes, rivers, and creeks in the mountains of the northern state of Chihuahua. They're even hijacking water trucks at gunpoint. Part of this is so the cartels can keep their drug fields of weed and poppy irrigated. But there's also money and power to be had by being the water brokers to desperate farmers, hotels, and locals. Mexican authorities are trying to fight back against the cartels. But now that the cartels have even started stealing millions of gallons of water from the U.S. for drugs, it's possible that Trump sees his crackdown on Mexican water debt as a way to get Mexico to crack down harder on the cartels, in addition to all of his other concerns. So, What do you think about the U.S. and Mexico water dispute? Don't worry, we're no Mexican cartel. We won't go after you for posting your opinion. Leave your comments below. And episodes like this require a lot of time and effort, so please support the show by subscribing to our new premium website, americauncovered.tv, and you'll also get exclusive content, live streams, and more. Just click on the button that's been on the screen. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thank you for watching America Uncovered.